Ladies and gentlemen, here once again, and I'm going to discuss, like I said, how I feel about Jet Grime Radio and Double Dragon Neon. And Double Dragon Neon, I don't think there's any online co-op for it, although that'd be nice, but I could have sworn I saw there being online co-op for it. But I'll first discuss Jet Grime Radio. Jet Grime Radio, I didn't play the original version of it on the Dreamcast, because despite the fact that I had an opportunity to play the Dreamcast when it was new, it wasn't my Dreamcast, and it was, to a limited degree. But thankfully, I was able to play some of the most notable games for, the first Sonic Adventure, Soul Calibur, the fighting games for Power Stone, House of the Dead 2, and of course the beloved Shenmue game, which I actually hope will be re-released pretty soon. But because I didn't play the original one, even though I played Jet Set Radio Future for the Xbox, there's not much for me to say. I played it briefly. It feels fun, and from what I remember of Jet Set Radio Future, it's pretty different in terms of, like whenever you paint with the spray, like you have to do these directional inputs, and I don't remember you having to do that in Jet Set Radio Future. It's actually good that these retro games are coming back. It's fun. I suggest you get it, and I was actually once again surprised how much it and Double Dragon cost at least on the Xbox Live. It cost 800 points, which is pretty cheap, to say the very least, of a game that is classic and lengthy. Now on to Double Dragon Neon. I didn't know much about this game. I didn't do any research. Because I haven't really been doing research on video games nowadays, because there's really, for the most part, like TV, there's nothing really on. It really is. I mean, why should I do research on things when, in the end, in most cases, I'm probably going to be disappointed? But for the most part, it seems like the downloadable marketplace for games, as far as the type of games I'm interested in, they seem to flourish and thrive more than they do mainstream, which is actually rather sad. But on to the topic. Double Dragon Neon is actually, I was pleasantly surprised. A friend of mine told me about how great the soundtrack was, and it's heavily based upon the 80s and the old arcade game soundtracks. And wonderful composer Jake Kaufman. He's done quite a bit of work, and this game was really good. And I was going to say early on that this game was kind of easy when I went through the first two levels, but the second level kind of gave me a little bit. But I was like, well, I kept screwing up, and then I realized what I kept messing up on, and I was able to get through it. It was the third level that just beat the shit out of me. And I was like, wow, I really need to calm down, because at least in the other two levels, you have time to think about each threat that comes to you. And, well, the way the third level is structured, I'm not to spoil anything, you don't really have as much time to think according to the threats, because there's something that happens that prevents you from doing so throughout the course of the level until you get to the conclusion of it. And once again, this game it's a reboot to the series. It's good to see that this is where the series is going. It's classic, and what better way than to commemorate the 25th anniversary of Double Dragon Neon. Both of these games are on the PSN, but I don't have a PS3. But just throwing that out there. Get these games, whether you're a fan of the franchises or not, and I endorse that. Ladies and gentlemen, signing out. Oh yes, and unfortunately there was one other game that I wanted to discuss. Actually a couple games, but one in particular that was announced recently. I'm not going to say what it is. In fact, I'm just going to leave you with this sound bit and give you a clue of what this game is, and as soon as you hear it, you're going to know right away if you know anything about video games.
That's right. I went there.
Ladies and gentlemen, signing out.